wife, Agnes Snellers, also a very strong player. You seem to be a little surprised that they reached the final, but they are two very good pairs. I mean, Van den Bos and Van Langveld, junior European champions. They may not be juniors anymore, but they are around 26, maybe 27. A very young pair, promising pair.
Well, it still is surprising that they reached the final. There's some very strong teams around here.
World champions even in the juniors.
Because players tend to respond very light. Wow, he's even responded on this hand.
Looking for the magic 5-3 spade fit.
Well, I can't believe anyone would respond on that. What happens if you don't find a 5-3 spade fit? He's hoping to hear 3 diamonds and to pass it.
Yeah, if the partner doesn't have a 5-card major, he will respond 3 diamonds, and I guess he's going to pass that. What else can he do?
Yeah, I suppose that's pretty good odds. Yeah.
Now the only danger is, what if partner has 5 hearts? Now you have no way out.
Then he pass that and play on 5-2 in hearts.
Now see, I can read this as a singleton, so he's not going to play his king here. Declare is marked with ace, queen, jack after the lead.
And 4 clubs. Shoot 5 signals for hearts.
Yes, indeed, Peter. Now when East gets in with a diamond, he has a pretty normal switch to the queen of hearts anyway. But you're right, it cannot cost to play the 4 clubs to help partner if he has a problem. Maybe he'll cash his remaining diamond honor before switching to a heart in order not to get end played. That's exactly what he did.
Now Zia gets a second chance to give a suit preference signal and in case his partner wasn't paying attention.
Couldn't Sia have done it even clearer by encouraging hearts now instead of discarding the 7 of clubs? Perhaps, but I think 4 and 7 of clubs convey the same message.
The only reason Builder thought for so long was he was considering whether he should lead the 4 of hearts, having got a sort of such a strong signal for hearts. Maybe he should keep his high cards, but it's not likely to matter.
In the other room, it wasn't a surprise that Madala passed 2 no trumps. That wasn't a success, and it went 2 down.
Well, it was pretty obvious, but still it was a good play by Zia to switch to spades through declare and not to thoughtlessly continue hearts.
Yes, but still worth 3 imps for the Dutch team. So 1 no trump, a mini no trump, non-vulnerable, 10-13. Can they stay out of game here, is the question. Do we want to stay out of game, is the question. The thing is that game makes. I'm talking about 4 spades.
Well, those 3 10s are worth quite a bit, aren't they? Very likely. You can see the 10 of spades is worth a lot.
Yes, it's even going to make with an over trick. So this is presumably invitational with 5 spades.
So South has a fairly minimal count, but just consider the value of his hand if the major suits were switched. That would be a whole trick worse at least. Just having 2 low spades. He's gone all the way to 4. Yeah, well bid.
Now, David, you tell us which is the better lead, a diamond from 3 small or a club from Jack 4th, on average.
What, a better lead of the 2 minors?
Yes.
Yes, well, I mean, you would tend to lead diamond, yes. I mean, leading from a jack is safer than leading from a queen, king or ace. It's almost as safe as leading from 4 low, but if you had the choice between 4 low and 3 low, you would lead from 3 low. So you've got more chance of setting up an honour that can be scored in your partner's hand by leading towards his holding. This is, of course, necessarily a very short final for a team's event, just 20 boards. So really, a lead of 16 imps is substantial in that context. It takes a couple of good boards to overcome it.
Yeah.
Yes, and with no K over, it don't help you that you have won 6 out of 7 matches and were more than 20 victory points ahead of number 2. Now it's the last 20 boards which decide it all.
But David, wasn't it frowned upon to lead away from Jack 3rd and Jack 4th before you made all your simulations? They are not as bad as people thought they were before they read your book.
That is exactly right. People have been terrified of leading away from jacks. And most of the time it doesn't matter, because in a suit contract the 3rd round is likely to be roughed, and so that's why it's more expensive to lead away from queens and kings, and certainly from aces. People are still terrified of leading Jack Doubleton, which can be an expensive lead, but I mean, so can it be to lead from Queen Doubleton.
Yes. I think people tend to remember the times when they have led away from a jack, like Jack 3rd, finding a top on a 10 in the dummy and a top on a 9 in declarer's hand, and hence losing all tricks in the suit. But you shouldn't be too worried about that, I suppose.
Well, it can happen. That is the risk of leading from a jack, but the risk of leading from a queen or a king is, you know, many times more, and you can create, you know, you can imagine loads of situations where that's going to cost. Even if you find partner with a matching honour, which is not guaranteed, it can still cost you a trick. Right, well, he played it the way that always seemed sensible right from the start, using the club honours to finesse against the Queen of Trumps. Wasn't particularly worried about roughing the third heart because he had a chance of a discard on the diamonds, and if he could pick up the Queen of Spades, didn't need to do that anyway.
That discard should not be difficult. If the player has the Queen of Clubs, Jack is worth nothing, and if the partner has it, you have to keep your hearts.
See, one of the written commentators is praying for a swing to Lavazza to make it exciting, but gosh, 16 imps isn't very much with 8 whole boards left.
A sensible bid by East, but there are 4 losers.
Yes. Won't help you to get a diamond away from the 4-card suit on a heart, so just the obvious 4 losers.
Normal way of bidding the East hand would be to Q-bid first to let partner know that you were going to 4 spades on high card values. But I mean, imagine 4 spades had been on, it might be that 5 clubs was only 1 down. You can see here that clubs plays reasonably well. So I think jumping to 4 spades, as Peter mentioned, is the best practical shot. Leaves them in the dark. It's not likely your partner's going to be interested particularly, or to have a decision to make at the 5 level. Think how many players there are around the world who would not bid 1 spade on the West card, saying, oh, I like more than that vulnerable. But that's a lesson we can learn by watching some of the world's finest players at work on BBO to see that they do get into the auction on such hands. And 1 spade is taking away a lot of bidding space from North if he's the one who's got a good hand.
So a lead with some
Remember
danger.
that South 1 club opening could be on a double sun.
Yeah, yes, I agree, Peter. I wouldn't lead a club. So you would lead either a heart or a diamond, and they will soon tell us whether one should lead a diamond or a heart from that holding. You see, it won't cost here to lead a diamond, but it could easily have cost a trick. You just give declarer the jack of diamonds instead of the 10.
Yes, there's no real right or wrong about it. All you can say is which leads may happen to turn out to do slightly better in the long run, but on any given hand, you can't say, oh, always lead passively all the time. That's not right. You've got to somehow sniff these situations out and look at the whole auction and try and get it right a bit more than the next, bit more often than the next guy can.
Now that's interesting. 4 spades about to make in the other room. Interesting to see the play there, if that's happening. They do play upside down attitude, but maybe they just give count when discarding.
Surely to play the jack of diamonds now would be an incredible play to find. Very, very difficult, I would say.
In this position, Madala also played the king of clubs and then the 9 of clubs.
Yeah, I think leading the jack of diamonds would be a true brilliancy.
So is he going to play for King X in the south hand? No. So another club will now defeat it. Yes, it will give declare and rough and discard, but that's not enough.
So what was declarer meant to do to make it?
Catch one high diamond, and then play ace of hearts heart, and South would have been end played.
I see, well. Yeah, it's double dummy as well. Shows us, though, that in fact a heart lead would have been better by North. I mean, that sets up the King of Hearts, and then declarer really has almost no chance of avoiding a loser in every suit. Of course, we expect these world-class players to find the rough and discard defense when it's right, but I mean, a lot of hard work and counting goes into calculating that, and you can imagine that in a club game you wouldn't get that many players willing to give a rough and discard.
You could argue, of course, that South is marked with the King of Hearts when he opens. I mean, North has shown the Ace of Clubs and probably the Queen of Diamonds already, so the King of Hearts must be in the South hand. So on that basis, maybe it wasn't that far away for Thea to play for King, Doubleton King in the South hand and make his contract.
No, that's right. Well, you're right, Roland, yeah. Difficult, but I mean, when you're trying to pick up 16 imps, that has to be counted as a chance missed. Well, again, that is a brave double. It has to be done, really. A bit light in values, but just can't allow yourself to be pushed around by preempts.
Five clubs is also interesting. It can be defeated, but it may not. You see, the defense against five clubs is that they must find that hard rough in time. Hard lead to the ace, spade back to the ace, hard rough. So very difficult to defeat.
Yes, but five hearts, there are club off, Roland.
Yes, I know, Peter. I know. The defense against five clubs is very, very difficult.
If North does lead the 10 of hearts, it's certainly not with the intention of giving partner a heart rough. That's incidental because Zia knew his side had a fit in hearts and kept that secret, just bidding the game in the 7-card suit.
Oh dear. So now they're minus. And going minus in both rooms. Five no chops. Doubleton spade. I wouldn't have found it, I have to say. I would double.
But Roland, can you defeat five spades?
But certainly,
2 diamond roughs.
with all cards in view, I can take it 3 down, Peter.
I don't think it's right to blame Zia for his 5 no trump bid because the odds were enormous that his partner had the ace of hearts and he thought that there might be 2 running suits. And it could easily be a double fit in spades and diamonds the other way, so who's to say 5 no trumps was wrong? So Zia has a freak hand and South must surely play a spade now. Can't take the risk of playing ace of diamonds, would be a bit of a needless risk. In any case, he wants a heart ruff, so spade back looks pretty 100%.
Yes, the south is probably puzzled by the 4-5-note trump bit by Xia. Do Xia really have a 4-card diamond?
Well, he's got 4-7 shape and he bids 5 no trumps on that. It's much more likely that it's hearts and clubs. You see, Xia could see he was running the risk of a heart ruff, obviously, and 6-4 fit there. Played the queen to pretend he was short in the suit. So we don't know if they're playing straight suit preference or reverse suit preference. North will have seen the Queen of Hearts from West and may be tempted to play a diamond now. Yes, he has.
Right, so he got out for 1 down, but it's still 100 plus 50 in the other room, 4 more imps to Snellers. Or was it only 2? Oh, 2, sorry.
Have you looked at 5 hearts at the other table? Mandala found the lead at the ace of diamond. And now 5 hearts is cold. But misplayed by the Clare, who played a club to the queen, took the king of diamond, discarding a spade, and played a heart. But now he have set up a club off for down 1. It's the Clare, after diamond is off, play the king of hearts. He is just home.
So Van Lang felt too strong for a no trump. They play 10-13 non-vulnerable.
How do you like that 1 diamond overcall?
Well, it's not a great suit, Peter, but you have compensating values, so I don't mind 1 diamond.
I must admit I would have passed the West End.
How badly against the odds do you think De Boer played that hand, Peter? I mean, it might have been better that way, but it seemed a bit risky with 9 cards in clubs, didn't it? It's more likely, I think, that South's going to have the high cards, probably the ace of hearts, and that the ace of spades may be with the spade overcaller. It may be a close decision, but I think North might have bid one no trump on those cards just to show some values, and that would then allow South to speak if he had some distribution. They certainly lost out in the bidding here.
Yes, and apparently he did have one no trump available, right? One no trump 7 to 10 without 4 hearts or 4 spades. So really strange that he didn't choose that.
Yeah, I mean, some people, just because a club can be short, they're terrified of raising. But I mean, the odds are pretty good. I think you should even go, if you don't want to bid one no trump, bid 2 clubs. Don't assume your partner's got a doubleton and let them buy it in a fit when you've got a 5-4 fit and half the points in the pack. Equally, I suppose, South might have bid one no trump. What do you think about that? They've stopped in 1 diamond.
When partner couldn't produce a bid over 1 diamond, David, he must be extremely weak. So that one no trump now should probably be 18-19 rather than 15-17.
Well, he wasn't extremely weak, so we don't know that. The bids that he could have made had specific requirements, such as a double and so on. They've stopped in a diamond, you know that. The odds are that you may have a club fit, perhaps.
Well, true. From South's point of view, David, when partner couldn't produce a bid over 1 diamond, he must be extremely weak. And that's why Van Langeveld didn't act.
Yeah, well, I'm mainly blaming North, but it's just, although people may think it's too much to call the bidding sort of a disaster or something, because there's only 1 diamond or 2 clubs. I mean, it's a pretty serious failing when you've got a 5-4 fit and 22 points, and you let them play in 1 diamond. So we've got to look seriously that one or other of them must have had a bid. Perhaps it was North. Anyway, this lowly board takes us halfway through the final set, and a few ints will change hands, and still Snellers will lead by the equivalent of 1 big swing.
By 14, which is more than a vulnerable game swing. So slam time. A pretty good spade slam. Best played by North, obviously, but that's not going to happen. And why is it best played by North? Because the ace-queen of diamonds is protected. Six-note trumps by North, perhaps. And that's also a very good contract.
It's not desperately easy to bid. It depends how strongly South is going to rebid now. If North is going to bid 2 hearts, presumably. Now South is going to bid 3 or 4 spades. Even if you play 2 hearts as a forcing to game response, South has to jump with those spades to describe his hand.
Yeah. How should you play 6 spades on a diamond lead, David? Say you get a diamond lead. How should you play it?
Looks like you have a guess to make, doesn't it? 4 clubs agrees spades.
You have a guess to make, because you could go up with the ace of diamonds, relying on the king of hearts to be on side instead. Cross to your hand with a spade and take a heart finesse, jack to the queen, to get rid of your diamond loser. And that will lead to 1 down. As House has denied the diamond control here, so it's not out of the question that Sia will lead a diamond against a spade contract. Even 6 spades.
It's the sort of auction where you're worried that they're going to be discards set up on the hearts, and that you might be tempted to make an aggressive lead in one of the minors, and you can say partner didn't double 4 clubs. Not that he always would, but he might do sometimes. Say if he had the king over the ace, he might. So declarer has a chance of guessing it right on a diamond lead. Maybe 4 spades was necessary to let partner know that the spades are completely locked up. At the moment he's going to be worried about a diamond lead and the spade loser.
But then again, should you get a diamond lead, I mean, you also know as declarer that you have denied a diamond control, and that Sia might lead a diamond from any holding. And maybe you should take a finesse at trick 1. You just hate to go down to trick 1 there.
Well, we said the margin was 1 big board, and this is a big board. So the match may depend on this one. Who knows?
Well, absolutely, yes. Yes. If six spades goes down here and makes at the other table, we'll have a new leader. If they bid it at the other table, they're stopping 4 now. If they bid it at the other table and make it, then it's still not enough. That's only 13, right? And they would be 1 behind. There you go. Here's the spade lead. You see, in the other room, the contract is 6 spades, and West found the diamond lead, and Madala went up with the ace. So he is about to go down. Great lead by Snellers in the other room.
Gosh, well, that's a lead which deserves to win, really. Well done.
As I implied, I mean, you would go up with the ace of diamonds and cross to hand with a spade, take the hard finesse, and when you lose,
If that's right or not. Couldn't really be sure what spades his partner had. What do you think about 6 no trumps?
well, if you think your partner's spades are solid, yes, but are they? You don't know.
Well, I mean, it's only because the clubs are good for 3 tricks that you've got enough to make 6 no trumps, and you don't know that. In spades, you've got the chance of establishing the hearts by ruffing and the possibility of a diamond ruff in dummy, so I think that's very difficult to. I don't think I would bid 6 no trumps on the north cards.
Yeah. In our room, 3 spades was either ace king queen jack to 6 or ace king queen to 7, Al tells me. So Norse knew that they had a solid spade suit, maybe not in the other room. And I'm asked, how would you play 6 spades on a diamond lead? Well, obviously I'm influenced because I know the layout. On the other hand, I mean, the auction screams for a diamond lead once I have denied one, so that a good player in the west seat would lead a diamond from any holding, so I don't think there's much between it. I mean, taking the diamond finesse or taking the heart finesse, I mean, it's so close.
Look here, a lead from king 4 in North is the only lead which could create problems for the player. On a trump lead, he just play club up and gets a hard discard. So Forster for sure would have made life easy for the player.
Well, you think so, with clubs bid in the dummy and West showing a spade diamond 2 suitor?
Yes, but he's not allowed to lead from a king.
He's also not not a complete idiot.
He disallowed himself, I think, and no one told him not to.
Trump leads at the other table and 11 tricks. But at the other table, the leader had no information at all. The bidding was 1 spade, 2 no, 4 spade.
Now, Peter, do you have any information regarding the prize money in this event? The teams? Or the pairs, for that matter?
No, I have asked several times, but no information at all.
Which is a little strange, because when it was held in Las Vegas, everything was public. The auction was public, prize money was public, but not here. I seem to recall that this is just a tradition in Monaco, that they don't publish the prize money.
One no trump shows a very strong hand on this auction, particularly red against white. East has doubled anyway because he's got 19. Maybe Zia will pull it to 2 hearts. Yes, he has, yeah, because he expects partner to have something good in the majors.
Now East is wondering, could this be 4-4, or did Seer promise 5-4 here.
Well, he's wondering whether he should bid again at all, because he has pulled his penalty double. So on a club lead, if that exposes 3 losers in the minors, he's got holes in each of the majors. Maybe no quick entry to dummy.
But wiser Seer to pull 1-0 double because they can't defeat 1-0.
Very good.
Yeah, but
Or can they? Yes, 3 times heart would defeat 1-0. Then there an entry on the west hand, so East-West could have 3 heart tricks, 3 spade tricks, and the ace of clubs.
yes, easier to make 2 hearts, and the builder judged well not to bid any more.
Well, they did very well at both tables, buying the contract in 2 diamonds in the other room, and here in 2 hearts. So this is a part score swing for Lavazza, but too late.
The swing was really caused by them opening a diamond at the other table. The diamond double a pass. Now North just bid 2 clubs. East doubled to show a good hand preference to diamonds, and West wasn't willing to speak again on his effective Yarborough. Well, for world-class players, one would always hope they could reach the par contract here. Let's see how they do. Seem to have 5 over tricks and 7 no trumps.
Yes, you're right, David. Even on a club lead, which takes the entry to the south hand, you can unblock Ace-King of Heart and take 4 heart tricks.
I once wrote a book called Famous Bridge Records, and we didn't have a category of the strongest hand to give a negative response to 2 clubs, but the south hand may come close to the world record for that.
Yes, 2 clubs does include a weak 2 in diamonds, but South knows that the partner doesn't have that. He still has to bid 2 diamonds. I didn't miss it out. 2 clubs could have been a weak 2 in diamonds.
So South has no cubit in hearts, but of course if his partner's got a strong 2 club opening, he's going to have absolutely massive cards in the majors. With a lead of 22 imps, surely if they can clamber over the penultimate hurdle, they are home.
All bits.
A club lead would have been more interesting. Club to the S. Then the Clare need to play for diamonds 4-3.
So if there's no swing on this one, it's possible there might be a swing, but if there isn't, we can say that everything depended on the guess after Snellers had found that excellent diamond lead in the slam on board 26.
Yep, 7-0 trumps in the other room on 29. That would be flat. And congratulations to Snellers on winning the team's event. Tonight at 7 o'clock, in about 1.5 hours, they are having the auction for the pairs tournament starting tomorrow at 10 o'clock local time. That's Central European time, and 9 UK. You think they'll offer running scores in the pairs, Peter? My guess is no. What do you think?
I don't know. The results here have been very slow, and I can't even find results from the first half of the final and the 8th round in the Swiss.
No, there was only 7 rounds in the Swiss. That explains that, at least.
Come again, Roland.
They only played 7 rounds of Swiss, Peter, not 8.
No, they are supposed to play 2 more rounds.
Of Swiss?
The Swiss is continuing for those not playing in the final.
Oh, for those teams. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
Well, I think the Netherlands team deserved to win. They had the best of that final board in the first half, whereas Zia and Dennis Bilder just took 800 against a vulnerable Slam. And one way or another, they had the big swing in the second half as well. And the margin of round about 22 is a big one. So well done to them. Many thanks to our operators and to a tremendous crowd coming to watch. Over 2,000. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to BBO as always. And of course always enjoyable for me to co-commentate with Roland and Peter.
Right. When we come back tomorrow, at some point, I'm pretty sure we'll see Helnes Helgemo on top, the most expensive pair, followed by Bilder Zia. You want to bet against?
No. And masters of the ceremony tonight will, as last year, be Sia plus Christina Lund Madsen.
All right, thank you everyone, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching.